What's up guys, Terry here for Chef Talks. Thanks again for joining me. This is the channel that's dedicated to teaching you how to cook like a real chef. Today we're going to look at cooking tools. More specifically, we're going to look at some of the basic tools that you should already have in your kit, and if you don't, you're going to want to pick some up because we have a lot of recipes coming up and you're not going to want to miss out. So if you want to follow along, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's get going. What's up guys? Thanks again for joining me on Chef Talks. Today we're looking at kitchen tools, specifically the things you're going to use the most. We're not going to get into the more advanced stuff until we're actually going to need those. So I'm going to look at the things that you should already have in your kitchen, and if you don't, you're going to want to go pick up if you're going to follow along. First and foremost, and I've said this before, a good chef knife. You need one of these. They are probably one of the most expensive things you're going to have to buy, but it is worth it. It's going to last you a long time, so get a good one. If you're interested, go to cheftalks.ca, check out the contest page because I am giving away a brand new Wusthof chef knife. All you have to do is follow the instructions. Super easy, doesn't cost anything, and you could have yourself a good chef knife that'll last the rest of your life, so check it out. Next most important thing that you're going to need is a cutting board. Don't buy yourself a small cutting board like this. I just went to a barbecue where they asked me to cut up a whole bunch of cubes of beef, and well, they gave me a cutting board this big. It was the only one they had, and I was in hell. So get yourself a nice cutting board. Honestly, if I had a cutting board this big, I'd be happy. Get yourself a good cutting board. Get 3. Color code them, that's even better. Restaurant supply stores are great for that because they're only about $12, $13, whereas at a retail store you're looking at $30, $40, $50 for the same exact thing. The next thing we're going to look at is pots and pans. You use them all the time. Very important to make sure that the quality of them is fairly decent. Now keep in mind when you watch the Food Network or some other sort of cooking channels, you see all these fancy pots and pans, nice and shiny, some copper ones, stuff like that. You don't need it. You really don't. You go to the store, you see those $1,000 pots and pans, it's just sucker across your forehead. You don't need super expensive pots and pans. In the professional restaurant, believe it or not, that's what we use. These are aluminum, they're junk, there's nothing good about them, the bottoms get all warped, they get pitted. These things are a workhorse. We use them in the professional restaurants because the amount of abuse that we put on these, we don't want to go out and buy a pan that's worth $150 and have it destroyed in a day. So we do use cheap ones, even in fine dining, which just goes to show that you don't need to spend a ton of money on pots and pans. If you are going to get some decent pots and pans, it's better to buy one-off instead of full sets. I find the sets just don't give you the tools that you actually need. So grab yourself at least one good saute pan, nice thick stainless steel bottom. This will allow you to use it on an induction cooker as well. They are fairly heavy steel, so you can't bend them very easily, which is important because you want to maintain your pans to be fairly straight, flat on the bottom, so you get a nice even heat. The next pan you're going to want is a non-stick. Again, nice stainless steel bottom. I don't spend much on my non-sticks. I think this one was like 14 bucks, and it works. That's what's important. I use it for eggs, fish, things like that, and I don't use it for anything else. That keeps this nice and in good condition, which another thing you're going to want to make sure is always use a wooden spoon if you're doing anything with a non-stick because you don't want to scratch it up, so wooden spoons are your friend. But yeah, don't spend a lot, just make sure you have at least one good non-stick pan. Next would be the pots. I do have about 3 different average size pots that I use the most. So I have like my little sauce pot, my soup pot, and then I have my stock pot. Now again, to me this isn't really a stock pot. I have another pot that I could show you that is a stock pot, but For home cooking, this is about as much as you're actually going to need. And upcoming, we're going to be doing some stocks, and I'll do them in this pot so you can see how versatile it really is. Again, these pots have the nice stainless steel bottom. This allows me to use them on induction cookers as well as any other type, and they're nice and thick, which allows it to maintain a nice flat bottom for even heat. They also have a rolled lip on them. This allows you to be able to pour things out without making a big mess, because it will kind of funnel into a nice flow. The next thing you're going to want to look at is some nice mixing bowls. I have quite a set of stainless steel mixing bowls. I find that the plastic ones will break and stain, glass ones will break. Stainless doesn't break. This will last you forever. I've already had these for many years, and the benefit of stainless steel is also, say you're going to want to melt chocolate or something, well, you can put it over direct heat and not melt it, right? There's just a ton of reasons why you should get them. They're going to last you. Again, they have a rolled lip so that they don't spill if I try to pour out of them, and just all around great to have. I have quite a variety of different sizes. I have more over there, so I would suggest getting yourself a few different sizes. You're going to find that once you start cooking more, you can never have enough stainless bowls. Next, colander. Again, I don't do plastic. Get yourself a stainless steel one. This is going to last you. It doesn't stain, easy to clean. Just 1,000 reasons why it's better than the plastic or the glass or any of that stuff. Again, more stainless steel. Mixing or measuring cups, anything like that. Again, stainless steel, because I like to be able to heat things. I also like to be able to clean them properly and know that they're not going to be covered in stains. And I like them to last. These ones have already been around for 20 years. How many people can say that about their plastic ones? The next thing I'm going to show you, this isn't really a basic thing or common thing, but it's probably my most used tool. So get yourself one of these. This is called a fish slice. I don't know if that's actually what they call them. That's what I call them. That's what my old chef called it. But essentially, it's a spatula. It's really thin wire, flexible, and it's got a little blade along the edge here. The nice thing about that blade is if you are cooking something like fish and it's stuck in the pan, this will allow you to get underneath it and get it back out without just completely destroying the piece of fish. It's good for a lot of things though, so anytime that you would use a spatula, you can get away with using one of these, which is probably why I use it every day. So it is a great tool. It's not expensive. I'll put a link down below on where you can pick one up for cheap, and you're going to thank me because it's pretty awesome. Alright, another thing, we're going to be doing some pasta coming up, so you're going to want a good rolling pin. I prefer the French style rolling pin that's tapered. This allows me to put more pressure on one side than the other, so I can keep things nice and even as I'm rolling it out. You don't have to go with the French rolling pin, but it is definitely my recommendation. The other thing you're going to need is a pasta roller. This is about $50–$60 depending on where you go. I will also put a link down below so that you can get one online if you like, but you're going to need that if you're going to follow along in the pasta. It is a really fun tool. Once you do get used to it, you're going to want to make pasta a lot. It's a great little thing, and even my kids like using it, so that's a great one. Other than that, I'm not going to cover the rest of this stuff out here, not today. We will look at it as we use it. If you have any questions or if there's something else you think I missed, by all means throw it in the comments down below and I'll try to get back to everybody. Otherwise, this is the basic kit. If you have this, we're good to go. And I think I'm ready to start showing you some food. So hit the subscribe button. Don't forget about notifications. Next week we're going to start looking at some basic knife cuts and start bringing some food out. And soon I'm going to start showing you some really cool stuff like making pasta from scratch. So I can't wait to see you guys in the kitchen. Thanks again for joining me on Chef Talks. Alright guys, I hope I covered the basics for you enough. If there's anything else that you think I missed, or if you have any questions, throw it in the comments below. I'll love to get back to as many people as I can. Otherwise, coming up we're going to start getting into some actual food. We're going to show some knife cuts, we're going to get into some blanching, and I'm even going to show you how to make pasta. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys in the kitchen.